Hello, welcome to Yoga with Paige, and welcome to your Moving Through Grief yoga practice. Today we are focusing on our breath, on allowing whatever emotions that we need to feel and process come through. So this is a very gentle practice meant to instill and bring about some compassion and some gentleness for yourself during this hard time. Whether it be grief over the loss of a loved one, maybe a big life change, changing beliefs, whatever it is, we are here to feel all of these things, no matter what it is. There is no right or wrong way to feel. Maybe we're going through a little patch of numbness or non-feeling, and that is okay. I encourage you to allow yourself to feel all of these things, not push them away, but invite them in, because this is the best way that we can process these emotions. And the more you let them in and let them settle within you, the more they wash over you and will leave. So we don't need any props for this practice, but if you'd like to have a block handy, please grab that. Whenever you are ready, we will begin lying on our backs, beginning in a nice Savasana or corpse pose. Beginning today on our backs, settling in, beginning with a restorative posture to help you connect to your breath. We can set an intention for this practice. Maybe it's about honoring what you feel, letting it peek in. Maybe it's about finding a little bit of peace in this rough time. Or perhaps it's just a little bit of movement to move the energy, move through the emotions, and help you process. Whatever it is, beginning to connect to your breath, really feeling the inhales and the exhales. Draw a nice big inhale in as long as you can, and then exhale. Let it all out. Continue to draw those nice, big, full breaths as you allow yourself to settle in and sink down into the mat, into the earth. Simply noticing what there is to feel mentally, physically. Keeping in mind today that each emotion or lack thereof is valid, whatever it may be. Draw one more big, full, centering breath in through the nostrils and out through the nostrils. Exhale some of the heaviness you feel. And if you found your eyes closing, you can gently blink them open. Wiggle the fingers and bend the knees. Plant the feet so the heels are underneath the knees. Palms face down onto the mat, preparing for a few movements of bridge pose. So find your position, and then on your inhale, simultaneously raise the arms overhead as you lift the hips and send them up. Squeezing through the glutes, and as you exhale, bringing everything back. Taking this 2 more times. Moving gently, inhale with your breath. Squeezing everything, feeling nice and long, opening up, and exhale. Relax back down. Last time. Exhale. When you've reached your center position, we can lift the feet off the mat, sending them up into the air, keeping the knees bent, just allowing a little bit of blood flow here. Still nice and close to the earth. Continuing to breathe, letting all thoughts, emotions, feelings bubble up. Feel them. Letting yourself surrender down into the mat. Letting tension go in the face, in the shoulders. Holding here for a few more breaths. Maybe straightening the legs a little bit. Carefully bending the knees, lowering the legs, placing the big soles of your feet together, coming into a nice reclined bound angle. Take your time to arrive into this position, gently allowing your groins, your hips to open. No forcing yourself open. Gentle. Bringing about compassion for yourself for whatever you are moving through today. It's all part of the process, the ups and downs of life. Taking big, full breaths, allowing yourself this space to be, to feel. Sometimes, if we're feeling really heartbroken or sad, we end up storing this mental grief in the physical parts of the body. So really try to let yourself relax. Loosen those tight muscles. And find some physical space. Bringing in new life, new fresh air, fresh energy with each inhale, and expelling out the sadness, the loss, the heartache with each exhale. You may feel emotions bubbling up, maybe some tears in some of these postures, and I encourage you to feel them. Feel them as fully as you can. You are not going through this alone. I'm giving you a mental virtual hug right now. And with that, whenever you're ready, take your time. You can gently bring your knees back together and slowly make your way up onto your knees, coming into a nice tabletop position in the middle of the mat. Like we said, take your time to arrive here. Spreading wide between the fingers, really gripping down with the palms. You are here, you're alive. Even if you're struggling and not feeling too great today, that's okay. All we can do is the best we can do. Gazing between your thumbs, taking a slight little bend in the elbows, not locking your arms. Taking a big breath, finding length in the spine. And on your next inhale, gently finding some cat-cow, dropping the belly, lifting the gaze, opening the heart center. And exhale, round through the back, press away from the mat, create space in your body, tucking the chin. Moving through about 5 rounds of cat-cow. Finding your natural rhythm. Connecting to yourself here. Moving some prana, some energy around. Meeting back through a neutral spine before tucking the back toes, walking the hands out to come up into a downward facing dog. So sending the hips up, taking your time, pedaling out through the backs of the feet, feeling the backs of your legs as you reach the hips up and the heels down. Remembering to breathe, always coming back to your breath. It is your anchor here in this time. It will help you release and move through this grief. And finding some stillness in your downward facing dog, bending the knees if necessary. Then carefully raising your head, picking up your left leg, bringing it in through the chest, and planting your left foot down, raising up into a warrior one or a high lunge. This is your choice, whichever one feels better to you. High lunge, arms raised up on the ball of the back foot, or warrior one, coming onto the outer edge of the back foot, squaring your hips. I'm choosing high lunge, but you take what you need here. This is your practice. It is all about you. Shoulders down. Nice long lines, raising up nice and tall. Even though we're hurting, we're still here. We're confident. We're strong. We can get through this. And your left arm scoops underneath your right as we bring our hands up. Eagle arms. Try to ravel the arms as much as you can. Opening up through the upper back. Maybe feeling a slight burn in the legs here. Building up a little bit of heat. And on your next big exhale, slowly unravel those arms. Plant the fingertips by the left foot, sending it back, downward facing dog. Taking a few breaths to rest here in between. Reaching the heels down, big toes together, gripping through the fingers. tapping into your resilience, your strength. And when you're ready, now picking up the right leg, bending the knee, bringing it up high in through the chest, planting it down, and finding your version here, your nice big strong warrior pose. Lifting up, not dumping into the hips, readjusting if necessary. And breathe. Scooping your right arm underneath the left and unraveling to try to find your eagle arms. 2 big breaths here. And gently begin to unravel. Frame the right foot. Step the right foot back. And this time come back down onto the knees. Untucking the toes, sending your hips back towards your heels, reaching the fingertips out, keeping the chest raised. Find a big breath. Then plant your right hand, lift your left, thread through the needle, walk those fingers over, finding a nice little variation of this child's pose. A little twist. This feels like a nice little warm hug. Taking this time to be with the breath, with the body. Finding that inner connection that sometimes we can begin to lose when something major happens. We feel a big shift in our lives. This is one of the most important times to return back to your practice and yourself. You can always return to the breath. And when you're ready, carefully unraveling, planting the left hand and switching sides. Walking the right fingertips over, getting a nice big stretch in the back, in the shoulders. Modifying this posture if necessary. Maybe we're already back in a Savasana. Take what you need. Listening to the sound of your breath. Maybe taking a little bit of comfort in the feeling of the blood pumping through your veins, your breath as it blows through your nostrils, letting you know that you are still alive, you are here. You are not broken. Staying as long as necessary and returning back to a traditional child pose. Allowing yourself some time to either sit in silence, maybe reflect, to hold yourself close to the earth. Maybe you're feeling everything Maybe you're not feeling much of it, much at all. And both are totally fine and normal. Take a quick little body scan. See if you're holding tension anywhere in your body, and if you can, visibly relax, let it go. Maybe throughout this practice, you've noticed a spot that you've been holding your grief in your body. We can now consciously, intentionally release it. Keeping your focus on your breath, letting it guide you, letting it move you. Perhaps it revives you. And I welcome you to stay here as long as you need. As long as you need. But at this point, this is where our practice together ends. So finding a few more centering breaths. I want to thank you dearly for showing up today, especially on days like this. It can be hard to get on the mat. So just the fact that you showed up for yourself is amazing, and you should give yourself a little pat on the back for that. Grief comes and goes, and it may not be pretty, but all of these little steps are steps in the healing, and allowing your emotions to come through and feel whatever it is you need to feel is a very, very important step. So I thank you for trusting me in guiding this practice for you today, and I really hope it was a little bit healing for you. And I'm here for you. You are not alone in this grief, whatever it is you are struggling with at the moment. I am here for you, and I am here if you need someone to talk to. And I thank you once again for joining me on the Yoga with Paige community, and I send you all of my love and my healing energy. May you feel at peace soon enough. One more big breath in. If you're still with me, inhale and exhale.